I'm only spending 6 hours a semester on site. Yeah, I spend an hour putting the stuff in my computer late, and another 2 hours putting up flyers. That's my 6 hour break. An hour maybe. Still, that's still Oh, you gave up. Oh, I thought you said Steinbeck books. I'm like, why are those 200 books?
Fine. First edition signed in blood, or do you want to
Not just on the novels. Like, I can't read two novels.
I'm required to give that to you. Study abroad office. It's random information about health issues where we're going. And I need you to sign down there at the very bottom of the page saying that I gave it to you. And then turn back the yellow sheet back for Lindsay's a student. Student teachers. Well, here we are. Here we are. It's good to see everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome back. I think since we're going to be spending some time together in May, we need to make sure everybody knows who everybody is. I'm sure there's some people that you don't know who they are. So let's do the customary who you are, what year you are, and what your major is. Okay? And we'll start with the lovely Rachel Evans. Why don't you stand up and turn around so they can take a good look at you.
I'm Rachel. I'm a freshman and I'm music education.
Good. Way to go, Rachel.
I'm Ellen. I'm a sophomore and I'm a communication major.
Good. Let's hold the applause until the end. We'll be here all night.
I'm Lindsay. I'm a sophomore. I'm a nursing major.
Hi, Lindsay.
I'm Shannon. I'm a sophomore. I'm a social work major.
I'm enjoying the lady trend here. I'm not standing up. I'm Michael. I'm a sophomore. I'm a chemistry physics major.
I'm Brendan. I'm a sophomore, elementary ed major.
Let's go over here and we'll come all the way across the room.
I'm Abby. I'm a senior and I'm an accounting and CIS major.
I'm Jessica. I'm a junior and I'm a nursing major. I'm Christina. I hope you guys know my name or else I failed you as president. I'm a junior and I'm an elementary ed major.
I'm Evan. I'm a sophomore and I'm a pre-pharmacy major.
I'm Lindsay. I'm a sophomore and I'm a Spanish major.
I'm Mary. I'm a sophomore and I'm an elementary ed major.
I'm Rachel. I'm a freshman and I'm graphic communications major.
I'm Ricky. I'm a freshman and I'm a psychology major.
I'm Lindsay. I'm a freshman and English education is my major.
Bud, sophomore, finance and mathematics major.
I'm Henry. I'm a sophomore and I am a chemistry major.
Austin, sophomore, finance major.
Jaden, I'm a pre-med major. I'm a freshman.
I'm Maria. I'm a freshman and I'm a pre-med major.
I'm Katie. I'm a freshman. I'm a biochemistry major.
I'm Amy. I don't know what year I am.
Can
I say a super duper freshman?
Yeah.
I'm a super duper freshman and I'm a physics major.
I'm Travis. I'm a history government major and I'm a senior.
I'm Grace. I'm a sophomore and I'm a psychology and Spanish major.
I'm Kate. I'm a sophomore as well, and I'm a biology pre-med major.
Hello everyone. I'm Reed. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a business management and computer information systems major.
I'm Micah. I'm a junior and I'm a political science and French major.
I'm Matthew. I'm a accounting and finance major, sophomore.
I'm Amanda. I'm a senior. I'm a fax education major.
Is that it, Michelle? Did we miss Michelle?
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Michelle. I think I'm going to do marketing now.
After the first day of classes, we've changed majors.
Yes. My career exploration teacher told me I was a sophomore, so.
Okay. Well, also in the roster is Zach Bodkin, Nick Popejoy, who's a junior, Kristen Schatzman, who emailed me and came down with the flu. I do have I'd like for you to take her if you would, please, and Kate Wildeman. So there are 37 students that are going on the program. Yes, sir.
I thought Austin was going.
Austin who?
Bailey.
Austin Bailey, yes, he's down here as well. And Lauren, I'm sorry, they're not enrolled yet. Lauren Renner is on the trip as well. And I think that's about it. Didn't I say Nick? Yeah, paid.
It's a long day.
So, what do the numbers 4, 120, and 37, how are those significant to our class today? Today is January 15th, and we leave on May 15th. So it's exactly 4 months today that we board the airplane and head to Europe from KCI. I thought that was a significant. I can tell you that each time I've taken a tour like this, my life has been enriched and enhanced, and I am a more educated and well-rounded person because of the experience. 120, significance of that number? Anybody been on the website today? Exactly how many days until we leave? 120 days from today. You notice there's a countdown on the EF Tour site, and when I checked it this morning, it's 100. We will travel to Europe to spend 16 days together learning about one of the most, if not the most, catastrophic events in the history of the civilization. We've been talking about this trip for over a year now, but the reality is now setting in. This is going to happen. 37?
How many students?
The number of students I cheated. Yeah, that's right. We will be traveling together. I do applaud all of you for the investment and sacrifices you are making to experience something that not every student has the opportunity to experience. This will be my 11th international trip in my lifetime, and I can absolutely assure you that you will see the world differently after this experience. I do hope that you will also take the opportunity to get to know and interact with my family who's going on the trip, my wife, my daughter. I can guarantee you Caleb will be in the back of the bus, and my mother-in-law who has traveled on every international trip I've ever been. And also Jim Clanton will be another faculty member along with us. Jim is a very good friend of mine. He's a professor in the music department. He does our percussion, and he's a very, very good friend. We've traveled a lot, and his stepson is also going to go on the trip. So there's 37 students and 7 other on the trip. So our total party right now is 44. I can't tell you how excited I am to travel with you and help you all experience something new in your lives. All the work and planning it takes on my part to put a trip like this together is paid off tenfold when I see the excitement, energy, and discovery in your eyes as you witness new things in your lives. That's what makes this all worth the effort to me. There's an old saying in education that a person has to want to learn in order to be taught. This has never been more true than what we are about to share together. Each of you has a personal choice to make, and I encourage you to spend some individual time thinking about this choice. You and only you are fully responsible for how much you will get out of this experience. I feel like I've prepared a pretty good class for you. I've tried to make it as interesting and as educational as I can. I've tried to work through and utilize as many resources as I can to make this an excellent class. Folks, you can come to class each week, politely sit through the session, play on your cell phone or your iPad, wander off mentally while the course content is being presented, and then head back off to your world when the class is dismissed. You can simply scan the class readings and quickly participate in the required online discussions to merely satisfy the course requirement. I hope this will not be the case. Or You can arrive at class each week eager to learn about the content being presented. You can engage in active and thoughtful discussion both within the class period and in informal settings as you interact with your other classmates. You can carefully and diligently read the required class book, taking notes and stopping periodically to give deep thought and consideration to the material you are consuming. You can seek out other materials, videos, and information beyond that which is presented to you to further deepen your connection and understanding with the content. This is an honors class. I can tell you that I get a lot of grief. I got a lot of grief after the last Italy Greece trip from the university administration and a lot of faculty members on this campus because they didn't consider the trip an honors class. I didn't do a class last time, and so as I'm trying to please the people, we have done this as a class, and I'm trying to make this truly educational. So I really hope that you will approach this as a class, and perhaps when it's over, give me some personal reflections, some support, so that we can do future honors college trips. I truthfully, I will be perfectly honest, I get so much grief that I've pretty much said this is the last one of these I'm ever going to do. That's how much grief I get from the administration. And I think if we get some students saying, wait a minute, this really is a great experience for us, and this really is something that's educational. So I may very well be calling upon some of you to help me with that when this trip is over, okay? Now, while you're on the trip, we will have tour guides, and we use whispers. Okay? What it is everybody will get a headset, and the tour guide talks through a microphone that comes into your headset. That way you don't have to be right up next to the tour guides all the time. You can hear them.
No worries, it's just one earplug.
Yeah, it's just one earplug. It's actually a very cool, convenient thing that I had never seen on a trip before, because you usually always have to like stand way up close to them and try to hear what they're saying. So it's a very cool thing. I encourage you to engage yourself in those conversations. It's very easy because we're a large group. It's going to be very easy for you to kind of wander off and start looking at things because you're in a new environment. I encourage you to stay up close to the tour guide, listen, and ask questions. Okay? It's a great learning opportunity. That's your class because that person is a specialist at the site that we are going to be seeing. Okay? It's absolutely up to you what you want to get from the experience. As in any class setting, I can only organize a comprehensive curriculum and learning objectives, prepare and present informative class lectures, and hope that you will engage yourselves in the process. I do hope that you will make good decisions with regard to this. It's my honor and privilege to lead you in this adventure. This is the 5th student group I've taken. In 1993, I took 140 high school students to London for a week. That was my first international trip. In 1997, I took 144 high school students to London for a week. In 2001, I took 50 PSU band students to Belgium, Germany, and Holland for a week. In 2010, I took 21 students to Italy, Greece, and Turkey. So this will be the 5th student group that I've led. My life is good. I love traveling, and I love traveling with students. We're going to have a great time. I can promise you that there will be some challenges along the way. I can assure you that not all will go exactly as planned. And I can guarantee you you will need to be flexible, understanding, tolerant, and open-minded during the trip. Yes? That's life, isn't it? It's a great life experience. This is just part of the international learning experience. How you cope with challenging situations, how adept you are at problem solving, and how open you are to others' opinions and personal practices will dictate the success of the trip. We all need to be in agreement that we're going to be friendly and open with each other. We must be respectful of each other at all times. So those are my introductory comments to start the class. I'm looking forward to this. Let's go through some details tonight. My goal tonight is to cover the course outline, attendance, grading policy, to cover what the course is going to look like for our 15 class meetings, and then to open the floor for questions and also cover some basic travel information to get us from KCI to London. My lectures will be in pieces, and so tonight we're going to go from KCI to London and try to give you all the information you need for that. I would encourage you to take notes because this will be the only time that I cover this information. I know it's 4 months away, but I will not come back. I don't have time to come back, okay? So let's go into, if you have your computer and want to follow along in Canvas, you're certainly welcome to, but I will put it up on the screen. Amanda, did that beat when I pushed that button? Yeah.
Oh, sick. Follow along. Us. Okay.
Pull up like this.
Okay.
You guys have those minutes? Yeah. Did you? Let's cover the course syllabus first. Can everybody see it okay? You don't need to turn the front light off. Would that help maybe with the video? As you know, the class is 2 hours this spring and 1 hour this summer. Please be informed. I've told you this before, but please be informed that you do have to enroll in the 1 hour class this summer. And you have to pay for that hour, unfortunately. That's not my policy, that's the university policy. So you'll pay for 1 credit hour. I believe the going rate is like $174 for in-state tuition right now. So please make sure you work that into your budgets, okay? You have to enroll in the 1 hour class for the summer. So we know that the class is meeting Tuesdays 5 to 5:50, and the dates as set right now are the 15th through the 30th. I don't think those will change because they're not going to put anybody else with us. We're going to be a group of ourselves, so I can't imagine those dates are going to change. The course description I'll let you read. I do want to go to required materials for the class. You've received this in an email. If you have not purchased the book, you're going to want to do this presto pronto because your first required discussion of reading is a week from Friday. That'll be every 2 weeks you'll have the required readings. And so if you haven't done the book, please get on and do that. I think I got it for like $7.95 on Amazon. How many of you do have the book already? Okay, excellent. So if you haven't done that, please get on there right away. I actually have one student who's already completed everything because she wanted to get the book done before classes started. So she's read the book, she has all of her stuff up. So you can go in and see what her responses were if you'd like. So you can get it. And her responses were very appropriate. That was just perfect. So that's what the kind of the expectation is. Okay. Attendance. Okay. Now obviously, I want you to come to class if you have this time open. You know, we tried to find a time that would work with everybody, so I'd like you to come to class. If you're sick, Kate, this is the only day she's going to be able to be here. I appreciate you being here, but she's got cross country. So as I announced, I will be videotaping the classes. Travis, make sure you're not in front of the camera there. And I will, on Wednesdays, post these lectures on YouTube. I'll have a personal channel. I'll put the link in Canvas, and you can watch. If you miss class, then I expect you to watch the YouTube link outside of class if something comes up and you can't be there. But hopefully you'll be here, because then we get this give and take. It's always more fun to be the person in the class. Okay? Grading. Everybody, whether they're in class or watching the video, every Friday you're required to turn in a very brief, just a couple paragraphs synopsis, not even a synopsis, but more a reflection of what we've talked about in class that day. I don't want a summary of what we did. I don't want you to list what we did in class. I want you to respond to it, react to it, reflect upon it. Wow, this sounds really cool. I'm really interested in this particular aspect. I can't wait to go here because my grandfather did this. Okay, so personalize it somehow. And let me know how you feel about the information that was presented that day. That's due every Friday. Class is on Tuesday, you have till Friday to get those turned in. Okay? I can't imagine that's going to take you more than 15 or 20 minutes. I really can't. You know, I've tried to not burden you too much, but we do have to have some points in here. Okay, is that cool? Everybody understand that? Okay? Then the other aspect of it is your reading. I've broken the book into 8 readings. I think they're very easy readings. I think it's a very easy read. And so every 2 weeks, then you will go in and you will answer the questions I've provided, and you will respond to one person's answers. So Ellen's going to give her answers. Lindsay might say, wow, Ellen, I didn't think about that. I really enjoyed your response. Or probably not. She would never do that, all right? So this is pretty typical of online classes where you respond to something and then you respond to someone else's response. And so it gets this little dialogue going. Does this make sense to everybody? Okay? And these dates are posted. I'm sure you've seen the Canvas site. The dates are in there. So please just make sure you adhere to this. Yes, sir?
So will responding to someone else's response count as our response?
No.
So
you respond to the readings.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we can respond to someone else.
You are required to
Okay.
respond to someone else.
Two responses.
Yes.
Okay? One is your response, one is your response to someone else's response. I don't know how more clear I can say it. Is that clear with everybody? All right, good. I do have Dr. John Daly coming in, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. He's a history professor here. I have an art professor that's going to come talk about the artwork of the period and how Hitler stole most of the artwork from Western Europe. Some of it is still being discovered today. I've got a communication professor. This is kind of low on my priority list. It's not in the course rotation right now because I kind of ran out of time, but if we find time, he's agreed to come talk about the use of propaganda, which of course was a very large part of the war. And I am seeking out, I have a person, but he was in the southern or the South Pacific arena, veteran, and I'm trying to find somebody from the Western Europe arena because I think it'd be more appropriate to have somebody from the area that we're going to. So I'm still seeking that out, but if I can't find somebody from there, then I do have a backup plan. So the goal is to have a veteran, if not 2 or 3, come and talk to you about their experiences in the war, and I think that would be very poignant for you to hear them talk. Okay? Any questions about attendance, grades, expectations? This would be the time to ask.
There's no
Henry?
How do I get enrolled on Canvas? Because I'm not in the class on Canvas yet.
From what I understand, when you enroll in the class, it automatically puts you in Canvas. Are you on your class schedule enrolled in?
I am.
Did you just do it
through
today?
Gus.
In Gus? It takes 24 hours to load in. So
Okay.
tomorrow morning you should have, or sometime tomorrow you should have access. I think the computer updates every night. Okay?
All right,
For now, you might, talk to your colleagues and make sure you have the stuff. Okay? Brendan, please, you got questions? No? Anybody? Yeah, please.
Halfway through the semester, I have a class that starts and it goes to like 5:15. Would it be better for me to like come in late or to watch the sessions on?
I would say come in late and maybe then watch just the first 15 minutes and kind of catch up with what you missed. I just think this is what's important, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Jaden?
Right now on Gus, it's a 3-hour course.
Yes.
Is that going to change?
It's going to change, probably somewhere around the end of January. That was supposed to have gone to Faculty Senate in December. They tabled it until after break. Much to my dismay, I turned all my stuff in on time. I go, why did you do this? So yes, all of your enrollments will change from 3 hours to 2 hours at some point towards the end of January, okay? Which is something that didn't go through Faculty Senate.
So the 1 hour for the summer is something we actually need to find and enroll in?
Yeah, when you enroll for fall,
Yeah.
that's when you enroll for summer.
Enroll for fall, okay.
You do your summer and your fall enrollments at the same time. So April,
Gotcha.
third week of April is when you'll do that. And then, we'll talk about that in class, how to go about that.
Is there a specific department or anything that this is counting as credit towards?
No.
Or is it just?
It's just an interdisciplinary elective thing. Now, I will tell you that I'm trying to get study abroad counted as honors credits, okay, towards your honors college requirements. That's in the committee right now, and I'm fighting pretty hard for that. So it's possible, if that goes through, that you guys would be able to use this 3-hour class to satisfy one of your honors college requirements. Would that be cool?
Like a Janet? That would be
Yeah.
nice. Oh.
So I'm working on it, okay? I'm working. I have a little bit of convincing to do yet, but I'm working. Okay, any other questions about the syllabus? Okay, good. Let's go to the course outline, okay? Obviously, today we're going to do the course introduction, and I want to get in a little bit of the travel information. Basically, what I've done is I've set the course up in a 3-class period rotation. Next Tuesday, we're going to start a video day. Anytime it says the war, they're video days. You guys all familiar with the name Ken Burns? Ken Burns is a wonderful documentary writer. And there is a 14-hour plus documentary called The War. And what I've done is I've excerpted those 14 hours down to 4 hours. Okay? And so on the 22nd, all we're going to do is watch video that day, and it's great video. It interviews people. There's a pilot who's still alive that flew over Western Europe. He talks. There's a woman from Mobile, Alabama, whose brother was a Marine, and she talks about what life was like in Mobile for that 5-year period. I just think it's really interesting. In fact, I'm going to encourage you that if you have Netflix, that you sometime watch the entire video. Yeah, it's on Netflix is where I get it. Okay? Because think about this, we're only going to see, I know that we think of Western Europe as the war, but where else was the war? This wasn't a Western Europe war, this was a world war. So where else was this war going on? Travis, you don't get to answer the question, you're a history major. Okay? Brendan, what did you start to say? Where did the war start for us? Pearl Harbor, yeah, so the whole Pacific, Philippines, Guam, Guadalcanal, Japan, okay? Where did the Americans go into the European venue? Normandy? D-Day? No. Even before that, Northern Africa. We first started in the war in North Africa, went to Tunisia, crossed the Mediterranean, then went to Italy and pushed up through Italy into France. See, these are things that people don't really think about because we only think about the Holocaust, don't we? So this Ken Burns documentary on Netflix provides the big picture of the war. It is outstanding. So if you're sitting around some night, you've got a couple hours, subscribe to Netflix and try to watch the entire series. Because I think it'll provide for you a greater perspective of what we're doing. Okay? So anyway, we'll start the rotation with a video. Nothing more than sitting here and watching these outstanding videos. The next lecture, Dr. Daly's going to come in and talk to us more about the strategic aspect of the Battle of Britain, why the armies did what they did, which I think is going to be very interesting. Then the third day of the rotation, I'm going to talk about where we're going and what we're going to do that day. So here, he's going to talk about the Battle of Britain, England. We're going to talk about what we're doing in England. We start the rotation again. Here, he's going to talk about France, and we'll talk about what we're going to do with France. Does this make sense, everybody? And we'll just work our way through those rotations. Okay? And as we get down to the bottom, so we're going to do England, France, Belgium, and Germany, the 4 primary countries that we're going to. Then at the end is when we'll have the artworks and bring in the veteran, and then we'll have one final day on April 30th just to kind of wrap up and make sure we're all ready to go. Okay? That's the course. Outstanding. Let's start with some information. I'm going to turn this off now, okay? There's going to be a to-do list here, so please write some things down. I need 3 free photocopies of your passports. I do not need your passport. I need 3 photocopies of your passport.
Do you need like the stamp pages or just the main?
No, just the main page. The picture that the page that has your picture on it. Okay?
So
just bring them to class, bring them by my office, put them in intercampus mail, whatever you need. By the time we go, let's get on it though. If you've got it, let's knock these things out.
So you want this, right?
That's correct. I want 3 copies of that.
One of those going to Megan Corrigan?
Yep. I'll take care of the one that goes to
What if
Megan.
we've already taken one of Megan Corrigan?
Then give me 2. Actually, give me 3, just so that I don't go, why do I only have 2 of these, all right? Just, let's err on the big side, okay?
Color?
Yes? It doesn't matter.
No?
Doesn't matter. So let's talk about what we're going to do with passports, okay? This is the way I've done it before, and it works. Just trust me on this, okay? You are going to have your actual passport on your person. Then I will have a copy and a notebook in case you lose your passport, and I will keep that copy. Megan Corrigan will get a copy, and you will keep a copy of your passport. Once we get through the airport and we arrive in London, you are going to give me your passports. And you will only have the copies of your passports. Those will be sufficient for you. I will keep your originals in a safe, locked up safe in my hotel room. And I will hand you your passport when you need your passport, and then I will take it back from you. Okay? I don't want to treat you like kids, but you can't imagine how big of a hassle it is to try to get a passport. And if I have all 44 of them together, let me be responsible for them. Now, Mun, I might be different with you.
Yeah, I mean, we're a special case.
Yeah, you are a very special and you always have been. So, Mun, I probably will just, I'm not going to deal with Mun, okay? But the rest of you, I will keep your passports for you. But you must then make sure that you have that copy of the passport with you. I mean, we're in safe countries. Nobody's going to come up and go, I need to see your passport, you know, but just know that you're going to have a copy, okay? Everyone is on their own to get to KCI for the departure flight. We will not have any organized transportation from wherever you are to KCI. Everybody's on their own. I need you to be there. I know this is 4 months away, but this is when I'm covering the info, okay? I need you to be there 2 hours before our flight departure. I don't know what time the flight departs yet, but when I tell you, I want you there 2 hours before that time. I will be there 2.5 hours before that time. And I will get myself and my family checked in and have it all taken care of, and then Clanton and myself and my wife will be there to assist you. Okay? Don't get there 3 hours before, because I don't want you checking in until after I've checked in. I'm going to have your airline tickets anyway. I'm not going to give you your airline tickets until you're at the airport that day. And when you're ready to check in, I will give you what you need. Okay? 2 hours before flight departure. Everybody cool with that? Yes.
Will we, or will you assign us a particular check-in area, gate thingy?
No. I don't know what airline we're going to be on, so it's different on you. Some of them have the individual kiosks. We were at United the other day, they still do it the old-fashioned way. I couldn't believe it. Where, like, you go up to a person. I couldn't believe it. So until I know the airline, I won't know the process. Okay.
No.
What I've done with large groups before is I've gotten a special check-in lane just for the group.
That's what I mean, though. By the time we actually drive up there, you'll have a place for us to meet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you which terminal we're going to be in. That's where you meet. Okay.
I don't want to just wander.
Okay. It is your responsibility. It is just like anytime. It is your responsibility to be familiar with carry-on and luggage regulations. I am not responsible for that. If you've never flown before, then you need to get on a website and figure these things out. What size, what you can have in bags, what you can't have in bags, that's your responsibility. Yes?
At some point will we know all of the flight regulations on each one?
Well, if we're on the same airline.
Will we be staying on the same airline the entire time?
That's my hope. I've never actually changed airlines.
Okay.
Yeah, so typically, I mean, we're going to have multiple flights, but it'll be the same airline as far as I know. Okay, good question. You get one suitcase for 16 days, girls. And we'll talk.
Remember, you're carrying it around with you.
We'll talk a little bit more later on. Oh, by the way, I reserve the right to veto any question, because I know what I'm going to talk about the next 15 weeks, and it might, yeah, it's going to be week 7, so just hang on to that, okay? I'll answer some, but I may veto. Yes, Michelle?
What is the temperature like when we're going?
I'm going to veto that question. Thank you so much for proving that I can veto it. I'm not even going to listen to your question. Okay. Good idea. I'm going to veto it before you even ask, because I can see what's going on inside your mind.
When you're packing, don't forget we're in a foreign country, so girls, hair dryers, and stuff you want.
I'll get there. I'll get there. Medications. Your medications must be in original bottles. Okay? Medications must be in original bottles. Yes, sir.
If it's generic, I can't think of the term.
Over the counter is fine. I'm talking about prescription medication.
If it's over the counter, though, we don't need a prescription or anything. We can just okay.
No. Okay. You must sit in your assigned seats. This was the biggest debacle I ever made. It was on my very first study abroad trip. Remember how many people? 140. So I got everybody checked in, And I said, okay, now that you're checked in, you can change seats if you'd like.
Oh.
And so they were all exchanging seats. I want to sit by this one. And we got on the plane, and we had that plane so messed up, nobody could find their seats. Well, you're sitting in my seat, and then, it was a mess. So it's only 6 hours. All right? So you will sit in your assigned seats. Okay, I know. Yes, Jaden.
Can we upgrade to first class on the flight back?
You go right ahead. It's out of your pocket.
Okay.
It's likely.
Is it possible?
I don't know. I'll have to check with the.
Okay.
You're serious.
I'm dead.
Okay, I'll check. It is likely that we will be changing planes. It's even likely with a group this size that we might have 2 different departures out of KCI and then meet at a common location. When I've taken large groups, sometimes I've had as many as 4 different flights going out of KCI and then meeting in New York City and then everybody flying over together. So just be aware that we might have that situation, okay? Typically when you travel internationally, you check your luggage at KCI and it goes to wherever your gateway, that they call the gateway, that's where you're going from the United States somewhere else. A lot of times you have to pick up your luggage there and then take it to the international gateway and recheck your luggage. You guys aren't used to that. In America, it just moves from one plane to the other. But when you do international flights, you typically have to get it and recheck it for the international flight, and the same thing on the way home. So just be aware, okay? Okay, this is a biggie. Chaperone groups. This will only be used for attendance. But obviously, I have to keep track of 44 people for 16 days, okay? We will have 6 groups of 6. One of those groups will have 7, because we have 37 students. I'm going to let you decide who is going to be in your groups, and I need one person in each group to be a team leader. We're not going to do that tonight, but I want you to be thinking about that. Again, you are not going to stay with these people. It's not like you're going to be bound to sit next to these people on the bus. I just need to be able to say, I need attendance. And rather than me trying to find 44 people, I look for 6 people. And the team leader looks for 6 people. And we can take attendance in 10 seconds. Does this make sense to you? Okay? Now, if I say take attendance, and Ellen says, yep, my group is here, and we get 2 hours down the road, and somebody goes, oh, wait a minute, Lindsay's missing. Whose problem is that going to be?